Hello, welcome to Yoga with Rach. I'm Rach, thank you very much for joining me and welcome to Virgo season. So this is week 2. Last week we had to go with our mudra and our mantra. This is week 2 of our Virgo sequence. You might need a block or a brick, something that you can just help to lean or prop yourself up on if you don't go very deep into forward folds. So it's always nice to have a little bit of support. So you might have a block close by or close to hand. If you need to, do pause the video, go find something that you can use. So even if it's a couple of books that you can use just to help to rest on, so you go into this particular pose that we're working on in this sequence with a bit more ease, so you don't have to force or strain yourself into the pose. So Virgo rules over the belly. And if our Virgo is a little bit out of balance, this can be where we feel worry or stress or fear or anxiety. So if you get any issues with the belly or any reactions, so we feel anxious, we might have that fluttering of butterflies, that can be a bit of a Virgo trait. So we're just going to work very gently on some twists whilst we're seated, so we're bringing in that earth element of grounding. So find that comfortable seat. Maybe you're using your block and you've got that underneath the tailbone. Do make sure wherever you're sitting, you've got a bit of room in front of you and behind you, because we will be working to the front and the back of the mat. So to start with, find that comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall, create space into the belly. So this is if we sit for long periods of the day or our posture isn't brilliant and we start to slouch or collapse into the belly, we're squishing and restricting that space. So we want to open up, lift up and create that space into the belly. And when we're working with the belly, we're actually working with a big area. So when we work with the belly breath, we're working with the TVA, the transverse abdominis. We also have the rectus abdominis, so the upper abdominals, where we know to have our six-pack, and it is there, whether it's under a lovely fluffy cake exterior, as one of my friends likes to call it, or whether it has that definition, you still have a six-pack ab as well. We have the side waist, so our obliques, and then we have the lower back. So we've got to think about the front, the back, and the side. So we're bringing that into our practice today with how we're going to work around the mat. But just starting in that seat, find that comfortable seat, bringing the hands together into Namaste, or if you had to go with last week's practice, you might find your Kali Mudra. And just bringing your awareness to your breath. If you worked with the mantra last week, or you've already practiced that particular practice before this one, you might stay with your mantra as well. And just bringing your awareness to your breath and rooting down, grounding down into your body. So be aware of where your connection points are to the block or your mat or the floor, wherever you're sitting. So it might be the tailbone, the glutes, back of the thighs, sides of the knees, the feet. And if the hands are in your Kali Mudra, just releasing the hands into Anjali Mudra or Namaste, prayer of hands in front of the heart. So we're going to work really, really slowly with the breath. So this is where we want to make sure we've got room out to the sides. As you exhale, draw the hands down to the hips. And as your exhale starts to move into the inhale, release the arms out, reach the arms slowly out and up. So the hands meet as your inhale turns into the exhale and you draw the hands slowly down that center line of the body. So we want to keep the movement really slow. As the exhale turns into the inhale, release the hands, reach the hands out and up above the crown of the head. And as your inhale turns into your exhale, the hands meet and we slide and draw the hands all the way down the center line of the body. So keeping the movement slow. So we're aware of this changing exhale to inhale. And then the inhale to the exhale. So Virgo is on that cusp of the seasons changing. We're moving out of summer and into autumn here in the northern hemisphere. And we're just on that turning point, and we find that in the breath as the inhale turns into the exhale, the hands meet. And as the exhale turns into the inhale, the hands release. One more full breath, raising the arms up. And as you exhale, draw the hands all the way down, this time releasing them into the lap or onto the thighs. If you're sitting on the block, just place the block to one side. And I'm going to turn to the side for this one. We want to make sure that we're around the middle of our mat. And we're going to extend the left leg out straight. So the right knee is still bent. Hips are currently facing forward. We're going to inhale, raise the arms either out up or forward and up. And as you exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So you've got the right hand behind you. Left hand might find the left leg or be on the mat. You could stay in this twist or gently place the right palm of the mat as you inhale, the left arm lifts, and we start to lift the hips and tailbone up. And we might have to go reaching the left arm up and over into a gate pose variation. As you exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, raise the arms up. This time as you exhale, take the right arm towards the left leg and take the left hand down by your left hip. So your right hand might find the little toe, you might be on the ankle, outer ankle edge, the outer part of the shin, the knee, or even the thigh. So it's not about folding forward, it's about going into this slightly different twist. And you might be looking forward, you might be looking to the side, you might be looking over the shoulder. Inhale, raise the arms forward and up. And exhale, lower the arms down, facing forward. Stretch the right leg out. And then bend the left knee this time. And drop the knee to the side. We're going to do the same again. Inhale, raise the arms. Either out and up or forward and up. Exhale, turning to the left this time, releasing left hand behind, right arm in front. And you might stay here in the twist. Or gently placing the palm of the hand down as you inhale, raise the right arm up and lift the hips and tailbone. And maybe you're reaching that right arm overhead. So we're going into our side waist, into the obliques. Focusing on the breath. When you're ready on an exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, raise the arms forward and up. This time twisting as you exhale to the right, reaching your left arm forward, right hand behind you by the hip. Maybe that left hand lands on your right thigh, the knee outside of the shin, outer ankle, or finds the little toe. And it's not about folding forward, we're going into that twist. So focus on twisting no matter how far you are into that forward fold. When you're ready on an inhale, raise the arms up. As you exhale, release the arms down, stretch that left leg out. Have a little bit of wiggle on the tailbone, stretch, release the legs. Bending the knees, we're going to drop the knees wide, bring the soles of the feet together. So going into a round angle variation where we keep the legs more of a diamond leg, so the feet are further away. This might be where you need the block. So we can place the block between the feet, and you might be on the highest height or the second height. You might literally just have it to the lowest height, just so you have a bit of support. And gently releasing forward from the hips. So have a wiggle around on the tailbone, make sure you're not tucking the tailbone under. Sitting up nice and tall, slowly fold, and you might rest the arms onto the legs. Maybe the hands rest down onto the feet. You might be at that in-between, that this bit's too high, that level's a bit too far. So maybe you make very relaxed fists, or one hand on top of the other. Just finding that point of support where you can. So you can release and let go into this pose. So the shadow side of Virgo can be that we want everything to be perfect, that we get a bit judgmental and we criticise or get very critical of ourselves. So we want to let go of this perfectionism, which can be very hard when we expect it to be perfect.
But think about that in your yoga practice. Where can you just let go? Remember, we're at that changing of the seasons. The leaves will start dropping off the trees and just releasing and letting go. We want to try and find that on the mat. Where can we just release and let go into a pose? It doesn't matter if your forward fold is here or whether you're all the way down by the feet. Find what feels right for you right now in this moment. When you're ready, slowly lifting all the way up. Placing the rock to one side and moving into tabletop. Make sure you're around the middle of the mat, so you've got room in front of you and behind you. We're going to have a little check-in with balancing table. So we might not think about the core as much for stability when we're thinking about working with balance, but your core is really what helps you stabilize yourself. So in our previous sequence we were working a lot with the core, and now we're going to see if we can really find that in a very refined way by working with our balance rather than working with the strengthening poses. We're just being very gentle with our balance. So from your tabletop, make sure you're spreading the fingertips nice and wide. We're going to start with a calf stretch first. So tuck under your right toes to lift the knee and keep the toes and the ball of the foot on the mat. Gently push your right heel back. Excuse me. So gently push your right heel back. So you might start to feel that stretch into the calf muscle. Don't worry if you don't feel a stretch. And from here, we're going to lift that right foot off the mat. Keep the foot flexed. So by that I mean the toes point down, so you don't point the toes away. This keeps your leg nice and active. Focusing on the breath. And just notice if you start to lean or bend into the elbows or shift the weight. Can you keep the weight evenly distributed left side to right side, even though that right leg is no longer on the mat? And bringing the right knee down, checking in with the wrists if you need to, just moving them about if they were in a slightly uncomfortable placement. Tuck under the left toes to lift the left knee. Keep the toes, the ball of the foot on the mat, so we stay low and find that calf stretch first. So this is really nice if you get restless legs. From there we can lift the leg up. Try not to lift the foot higher than your hip, because if you lift any higher we're going to start to go into a bit of a back bend. We want to try and keep the back nice and neutral. So you can look around and see, is your foot high or is it in line with your hip? Are you starting to shift the weight, or are you keeping neutral so that leg is still down onto the mat? When you're ready, slowly lower down. And you might have noticed already that that's that leg that's keeping your balance. The glutes might start to be activated, which is good. So that helps us to protect the lower back. So from here, tuck under the right toes, lift the right knee again. Push the heel back, find that calf stretch. And when you're ready, lift the foot up. Don't lift it any higher than the hip, keep the foot flexed. Let's see if we can lift onto the left fingertips. Or bring the left hand to the left shoulder. Or maybe we can reach the left arm out in front. Finding our full balancing table. And when you're ready, bring the left hand down. Don't worry if you're wobbling, that's normal. And bring the right knee down. Changing sides, so tuck under the left toes, lift the left knee. Find that calf stretch first, even if it's just for a breath. From there, slowly lift the leg up. And you might have a go, so lifting onto the right fingertips. So you can go through the different stages. Maybe you're lifting the right hand to the right shoulder, or reaching the right arm out in front. Focusing on the breath. If you're wobbling, that's fine. When you're ready, bring the hand down. Bring the knee down. Have a little pause if you need to in child's pose. Again, really nice for stretching and releasing the back. We'll start to come up into downward dog and find that back release stretch in downward dog. So as you lift up and back, really focus on bending the knees, pushing these into the belly and pull the belly back in towards the knees and the thighs. You might release the arms, the shoulders by releasing the head side to side. You're releasing into the neck and the shoulders. Focusing on the breath. And again, whenever you need to, come back down, have a little pause in child's pose. So we're going to have a little go, maybe, with a twist in our downward facing dog. So we're working on our balance, and if you've done any of the practices with me before where we're working with down dog splits, you've already had a little go with our balance, but this time we're going to keep both feet on the mat and we're going to lift one hand off the mat. So you might watch this one first before you have a go, unless you've already had a go with this one before. So see what feels right for you. So you might focus on drawing back in, straightening the legs a bit, or maybe you're keeping the knees bent. We're going to see if we can thread one arm across to the opposite side of the mat, and then we can bring the hand back onto the mat where it was before and see if we can change sides. So we're starting to go into a bit of a twist, and you might stay here or you might hold on to the legs. You might find the calf or the thigh. Some people find the hip depending on how long their arms are. Or you can hold on to the leg and start to go into a twist. So have a play, come out when you're ready, but see what feels right for you. One side might feel easier than the other. If you are having a go holding on, then we can start to twist and look under the body. So you're looking under the arm that's staying on the mat. Such a lovely stretch for the back of the legs. And you might have one more go each side. Maybe you're coming down into child's pose. So from here we're going to do a little flow, working with our down dog splits. Make sure you've got plenty of room behind you, so as you lift the legs up into your down dog splits, you're lifting from your hip, not from the knee, and pushing up. So we're getting that release into the back of the legs and the hips. So come on up into downward dog. We're going to go right side first, flow with your breath. As you inhale, slide and lift the right leg back and up. As you exhale, bring the knee into the belly, pull the shoulders forward, lift the chin, knee to belly plank. Inhale, pull back and up, down dog splits, right leg lifts. Exhale, pull forward, knee into the belly, knee to belly plank. Last one, inhale, down dog splits. Exhale, knee to belly plank if you can, have a little hover. And then place your right foot in between the hands. Bring the left knee down and checking in with where you've landed. So you want to make sure the right knee is in between the hands, right foot, sorry, is in between the hands, right knee is over your ankle, and your left knee is on the mat behind rather than underneath your hip. Left foot, toes can stay tucked or untouched, whatever feels comfortable for you, but keep that awareness of drawing the hips forward, so we're moving from our abdominal core, the TVA, down into the hip flexors, which is the base of your core. See if you can lift your arms forward and up while still drawing your hips forward. So this is where we're going to go into a twist. So watch along first if you need to, or just be very mindful of listening to which arms we're moving. So we currently have the right leg forward. We're going to lower the left arm forward so it hovers above the mat. See if you can sweep the right arm back. So the left fingertips are pointing forward, the right fingertips are pointing back. You can either look forward, you might start to turn to look over the right side, or continue turning and see if you can spot your right thumb. From here, we're going to lower the left hand onto the mat and reach the right arm up into our twist. Focusing on the breath. Roughly, keep the left hand underneath the left shoulder. On your next exhale, bring the right hand down, tuck under the left toes if they were released, lift the knee. Inhale, sliding that right leg back and up, down dog splits. And exhale, right foot lowers. So we can do that on the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bring the knee into the belly, pull the shoulders forward, knee to belly plank. Twice more. Inhale, down dog splits. Exhale, knee to belly plank. Last one. Inhale, down dog splits. Exhale, knee to belly plank. If you can, have a little hover. Gently place the foot down. Give it a nudge if you need to. Bring the right knee down and just checking in with where the knee and the foot is. So your left foot is in between the hands. Left knee over your ankle. Right knee on the mat behind, not underneath the hip. Right toes can be tucked or untucked. Gently draw the hips forward. See if we can lift the arms forward and up into our low lunge without pulling the hips back. So keep that stretch into the hip flexors. So from here, we're going to lower the right arm so it now hovers above the mat, fingertips point forward. Sweep the left arm back, left fingertips point back. Either look forward, start to turn to the left, or looking, see if you can look at your left thumb as you continue twisting. Focusing on the breath. And going into that twist, bring the right hand down onto the mat and lift the left arm up. Focusing on the breath. Right hand is roughly underneath the shoulder. Slowly bring the left hand down and tuck under the right toes. As you inhale, sliding that left leg back and up, down dog splits. Exhale, bring the left foot down, downward dog. Slowly lower the knees hip width are wider, toes are touching. Draw the tailbone to the heels, rest the forehead on the mat. Moving into child's pose. And you're welcome to stay in child's pose for as long as you wish. You might complete your practice there. You might have a go with one of the other practices I'm going to link in the end here or here. Or if you haven't already, please do click the button to subscribe. Just helps to show your support for free yoga online. Thank you very much for joining me, and I shall see you next week. Namaste.